Hello, today we will be making this video in Cinema 4D. So first of all, insert a floor. Click over here and bring in floor. Next, go to cube and insert a cube. Go to object, change x value to 20, y value to 500 and z value to 20. Go to coordinates and change position y as 250. Zoom out a bit, reposition, and this is how it looks like. Next, go to MoGraph and bring in a cloner. Then make this cube child of this cloner and rename this cloner as cloner main. Okay. Next, click on this cloner main, go to object, go to mode and change it to grid array. And then go to this count and change this count to 10, 1 and 10. Then go to this mode and change this to endpoint and then change this size to 210, 0 and 210. And then lastly click on uncheck this fixed clone. Okay, so next we will hide this cube. So click on here and hide this cloner main. Now go to cube and insert another cube. Go to coordinates, change position y as 250. Go to object and change x to 20, y to 500 and z value as 230. Now go to MoGraph and click on cloner. First thing, go to fix clone and uncheck. Then go to mode and change it to grid array. And then count will be 10, 1 and 1. And then go to per step and change it to endpoint and change this value to 210, 0 and 210. Then come to this cube and make it a child of this cloner. And then rename this cloner as cloner inner shell. Now hide this, click here and click here. Now go to cube and insert one more cube. Bring it upward, go to coordinates, change position y as 250, go to object and change x value to 230, y to 500 and z value to 230. Next go to cube and make it hidden. So click over here. Now come back to cloner main and make it visible. And then on this cube rename it to outer cell. Perfect. Now next go over here and bring in a cone. Zoom out a bit, reposition it and move this cone upward, and over here change this orientation to -y like this and change the bottom radius value to 150. Go to coordinates and change position y as 600. The reason we have placed this cube is that we will use this cube and we will move it down and we will make this cube fall outside, and I will show it how. So for time being, keep the position y as 600. Next again go over here and make it hidden like this. Click somewhere here. Now we will make a set of blades. So zoom in, okay, like this, and insert a cube. Bring it upward like this. Then go to object and change value to 240 and 290. Okay, so this is our cube and we will make a blade out of it. So next go over here and click on this to make this editable. Now zoom out a bit, reposition it, rotate a bit, come close and then click on this polygons, and we need to select the bottom part of this cube. So reposition somehow like this Okay, come closer and click on this bottom layer like this. I hope you can see it. Okay, so what we have done is we have selected this bottom layer. Now come over here and change this X value to 0. Okay, so this is how it now looks like. So this will make this edge looks like a sharp edge. Now zoom out, reposition it like this. Okay, click on this model over here and then go to coordinate over here and change X position to minus 93 and Y as 900. So here it is. Next, go to MoGraph and bring in a cloner and then make this cube child of this cloner and rename this cloner as cloner blade set. Now click on this cloner blade set and uncheck on this fix clone. So here we are. Next, click on this object and change the count to 9 and change Y value as 0 and then go to mode and change this to endpoint and change the X value to 186. So this is our set of blades now. Now we will make a frame for this blades. So go to cube and insert a cube, bring it upward and go to object and change this value to 260, 100 and 260. Again go to cube and insert another cube, bring it upward, go to object and change this value to 300, 15 and 300 and here click on this fillet and keep this radius and subdivision as 3 and 3. Now go to display and click on Gorard shading lines like this. Come closer. Next go over here and click on this bull. Now select cube 1, use shift key and select cube, both of the cube and make them child of this bull. Okay, so this is how our frames now looks like. And next go to this cube 1, go to coordinates and change this position Y to 900 and again on the other cube change this position Y value to 900. So now this is how it looks like. Now reposition is, now again insert a cube, click on this cube, go to object and change this value to 10, 1000 and 150. Then click on this fillet and change this value to 5 and 5. Now go to coordinates and change this X value to minus 140 and Y value to 1400. So here is our cube. Next click on this cube, click Ctrl plus C and then paste by clicking Ctrl plus V. So on this new cube, come to position X and change this value to positive 140. So now we have two cubes, one this and the other one is this. So now our blade set is ready. So click on this objects, select all of them using shift key, this one, this and this, and click Alt plus G on your keyboard and this will group it. So now rename it to blade and set. So next we will insert some of the planes. So what we will do is go over here and click on this plane, reposition it and here is our plane. Go to object and change the orientation to minus X. So this is our plane. Now go over here on this object and change this width to 550 and height to 183. Go to coordinates and change this position Y to 250 and change the X value to minus 93. So this is our plane. Make sure that this is placed just in between the gaps. So the purpose of this plane is that we will use them to push these cubes towards the left so that they will start falling. Now give it a name. Go over here and make it plane left. Now click on this plane left, Control plus C and Control plus V. This will make a copy of our plane. Now rename it to plane right and go to coordinates and change this x position to positive 93 plus 93. So now we have two planes, 1 and 2. Next, again click on this plane right, Control plus C and Control plus V, and rename it to plane front. And then go to coordinates and change position x to 0 and position z make it minus 93. And then change this rotation h value to minus 90 degree. So this is how it looks like. Now go to objects and change this height value to 300. Now click on this plane front, Control plus C and Control plus V, and then rename this, make it plane back, and then go to coordinates and change this minus 93 value to positive 93. So now we have these 4 planes, and this is how it looks like. So we have plane 1, plane 2, plane 3 and plane 4, and as I have told earlier, we will use these planes to push these cubes towards the outside, which will make them fall. Now we will start working on our animation part. So first of all, we will give tags to some of our object. So go to floor, right click, go to simulation tags and make it a collider body. Now go to this plane, right click, simulation tag and make it a collider body. Similarly to plane right, make it a collider body. Plane front, make it a collider body. Plane back, make it a collider body. And on this cone also make it a collider body. And lastly, go to this cloner main and make this a rigid body. So go to simulation tag and click on this rigid body. Now over here scroll down and change this bounce value to 65%. Next we will go to project settings. So the shortcut to go to project setting is click Ctrl plus D on your keyboard, and here go to dynamics, go to expert and change this steps per frame to 40. Okay, perfect. So this looks good. Now we will start working on our animation. So first of all, go over here and change this frame count to 300 and then expand this timeline. Next we will animate our cone. So click on this cone, make it visible by clicking on this. Okay, so next go to frame number 163 over here like this, and on frame 163 drop a keyframe on position Y, click here. Now go to frame number 300 and change this position Y value as 300 and drop a keyframe. Now come back to frame number 150, click over here and let's play our animation. So click on this play button. Okay, so this is how it looks like. We will do few more settings and this will get better and better. So now go back to frame 0 and then come back to frame number 145 like this over here. Now we will animate our planes. So first of all, we will animate our plane back. So make sure that you select on plane back and you are on frame number 145, and here on frame number 145 go to position Z and drop a keyframe. Then go to 2 frames further, which is frame 147, and change this position Z value as 96 and drop a keyframe. Now go back to frame number 145, go to basics and drop a keyframe over here on enabled. Now to go to frame number 155 and change this, uncheck this enabled over here and drop a keyframe. Now bring your pointer somewhere here on frame number 130 and play our animation. Okay, so this looks good. So we will stop the animation, go back to frame number 0, and first thing we will do is we will hide this cone. So what we will do is click on this, double click on this top dot and again double click on this bottom dot. So now our cone is invisible. Next we will animate plane front. So click on this plane front, go to frame number 145, and on basics, check this, drop a keyframe on enabled, and then go to coordinates and drop a keyframe on position Z. Then move 2 frame forward, that is frame number 147, and change this -93 to -96 and drop a keyframe. Now move forward, go to frame number 155 and then go to basics and uncheck this enabled and drop a keyframe. Okay, now next go to plane right. Again go back to frame number 145, go to basics and drop a keyframe on enabled. Go to coordinates and on position X drop a keyframe. Now move 2 frames forward, frame number 147, and change this position X to 96 and drop a keyframe. Now go to frame number 155, go to basics, uncheck and drop a keyframe. Now go to plane left, go to frame number 145, drop a keyframe on this enabled, go to coordinates and drop a keyframe on position X, then go to frame number 147, change this value to -96, drop a keyframe, go to frame number 155 and go to basics and uncheck this enabled and drop a keyframe. Now let's see how this animation looks like. So go back to frame number 130 or go back to frame number 0 and play our animation. Okay, so this is how it looks like, which looks good. So stop the animation, go back to frame 0, and now we will hide these planes. So click on this double dots, double click, this one, this one, this one, this one, and lastly this one. So what we have done is we have made all these planes invisible. Now zoom out, reposition it like this, and now the time is to animate this blade. So make sure that you are on frame 0, click on this blade set, go to coordinates and drop a keyframe on position Y. Now move your pointer to frame number 40 and change this position Y to -180 and drop a keyframe. Now go to frame number 80 and change this position Y to 700 and drop a keyframe. Go to frame number 120 and change this position value to -180 and drop a keyframe. Go to frame number 160, change this position to 700 and drop a keyframe. Now let's see how our animation looks like. So go to frame number 0 and play. Okay, so this looks good. So we will stop the animation, go back to frame number 0. Now lastly, what we will do is we will make our outer shell visible. So click on this and click on this. So we will make both outer shell and inner shell visible. Now next we will create a material for our blocks, for our cubes. So come to this material manager, double click over here, double click on this newly created material, go to colors and change this HSV value to 40, 90 and 90. So this is a golden color. Now go to reflectance, go to layers, click on add and click GGX. Then click on this layer 1 and change this attenuation to metal and decrease this roughness value to 0% and reflection is 10 to 50%. And go to on this color and click and then change this value to 40, 90 and 90 and click OK. So this is our gold material. Close this window. Now drag this material and drop on this cloner main and cloner inner shell and outer shell. Now go to display and click on Gorard shadings. Next we will insert a sky, so go over here and click on the sky. Now for this sky we will bring a HDRA image, so go to objects and here you will see this content browser. Click on this content browser and drag this HDRA image and drop it over here. Perfect. Now go back to objects, click here. Now drag this HDRA image and drop it on the sky. Next right click on the sky, go to render tags and click on compositing, and then over here seen by camera uncheck. Now let's see how our animation looks like. So zoom in and let's play it like this. Okay, so the blades are going down but we are not able to see the cuts. So now we have to do some tricks so that we can see the cuts on our cube, that will make it look more realistic. So that is the reason why we have created this outer shell and inner shell. So now we will animate them. So click on outer shell first and then go to frame number 18 like this. Okay, so frame number 18 is the frame where our blades just touched our cube. So this is the point where we will animate, and what we will do is we will bring this outer shell downwards. See, we'll click this and we will move it downward, and this will make our cuts visible. So next I will click Ctrl Z. Okay, click on this outer shell and then go to coordinates and drop a keyframe on position Y, which is 250, and then I will go to frame number 40 and here I will change position Y to -320 and I will drop a keyframe. Now let's see how our animation looks like. So go to frame 0 and play it. Okay, so this looks good. What I will do is go to frame number 18 and then I will go to this position Y, right click, go to animation and show F curve, bring it over, click somewhere in between, click Ctrl+A on your keyboard and click on this linear and then close this. Now let's see how our animation looks like. So I will play it like this. Okay, perfect. So this makes our cuts visible. Now I will go to frame number 0 and then I will unhide this cube also. Okay, perfect. Now I will click on this inner shell and I will animate this too. So here I will go to frame number 98. Okay, and on frame 98 I will go to coordinates and I will drop a keyframe on position Y like this. Value is 0, and then I will go to frame number 120 over here and I will change this position Y to -500 and I will drop a keyframe like this. Then I will right click over here, go to animation and show F curve, bring it over here, click somewhere in between, click Ctrl+A on your keyboard and click on this linear and close this. Now let's see how our animation looks like. To zoom out, reposition it and let's play our animation. Okay, so this is how the first cut is, and let's see how the second cut looks like. Okay, the second cut also looks good over here. Let's zoom in. Let me play it again. Okay, the second cut looks good. The only problem is our blade's position is not changed. It is still on the other cut. So we have to rotate the blade's position so that it synchronizes with the other cuts. So zoom out a bit like this. Okay, go back to frame 0 and then go over here and click on this blade set and then go to frame number 80 over here and drop a keyframe on this rotation H. Then go to frame number 92 like this and change this rotation H to 90 degree and drop a keyframe. Now let's see how this looks like. Okay, so good. Our blades are turning perfectly and this is making a good cut. Can you see it? Okay, this looks awesome. Perfect. So now go back to frame number 0 and our animation is almost ready. So the last setting which we will do is we will bring in some lights. So for light we will go over here and click on this area light and we will move it upward like this. move it backward like this, and we will rename this to light front, and we will go to coordinates and change its value to 550 and z value to minus 550. Then go to general and change this shadow value to soft, shadow maps soft. So next we will copy this light. So click on this light front, Control plus C and Control plus V, rename it, make it light back. Click on this light back, go to coordinates and change this position Z as plus 550 and rotate this P position to minus 180. Perfect, this looks good. Again click on this light back, Control plus C and Control plus V and rename it to light top. Click on this light top, go to coordinates and change Z value to 0 and change this Y value to 800 and change this position to minus 90 degree. Okay, so we now have three lights. This is the front light, this is the back light, and this is the top light. So with this, our animation is almost ready. The last thing we will do is do some render settings. So click on this render setting button over here, go to effect, click on ambient occlusion, again click on effect and bring in global illumination, and on global illumination change this sample size to high, go to ambient occlusion and increase this accuracy to 100% and maximum samples change it to 128. Then go to output, go to presets, go to film and change this value to HTTV 1080 and go to save and change the format to JPG, this one. Okay, and then go to this file setting over here, select a folder somewhere in your computer and then change the file name to save1 and click save and then close this window. Now for the last time, let's play our animation and let's see how this looks like, and click on this play button. Okay, perfect. So this looks good. So what you can do is you can click on this render, but again go to render settings and go to output and over here change this frame range to all frames and close this. Now what it will do is we will stop the animation, go to frame number 0 and we will click on this render button over here. Now this will start rendering all of our images. The quality is quite high, so this will take a bit. So this is the final output of our animation. Once we have all the frames ready, you can import those images on Premiere Pro and make a video out of it, and you can add some of the sound effects to make it sound better. So with this, I will end this video. If you like it, give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching this video.